2, 1, go!
Hey there, my name's Taylor, and this is the DFW Summer Series Race 5. I'm in the men's beginner category, and actually missed a clip here at the start, but fortunately got clipped in before too long and didn't punish me too much. This was a really hot day. It was almost 100 degrees, not quite yet. We haven't cracked 100 degrees yet this summer, but regardless, the race director, Sean, decided to do a new course today that kept us in the shade longer, like more of the wooded single track, less of the infield kind of grassy areas. So this was a new course to everybody. I pre-rode it earlier in the day, and for the most part it's similar to just riding out at Irwin Park on the mountain bike trail, but there's still a few sections that are different, and I don't have as much practice on this because, you know, I'm used to doing the other course, whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise. So yeah, this was an interesting wild card on the day. Obviously it's new to everybody else as well, so like, you know, if people are familiar riding at Irwin, then they're probably going to do a little better today. So I wasn't sure what to expect from, you know, the rest of the field. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now after the whole shot, coming in 4th place, and then we come into this corner that's like, this is very cyclocross to me. You know, we're on grass, there's like the little tape up on the sides, and it's this off-camber hairpin. Unfortunately, I'm not super great at cyclocross, so I did not take this as quickly or as good as I should have. Almost ran into the pole there, but still feeling good about being in 4th place and enjoying and excited to see, you know, where this new course takes us. I didn't recognize this rider in front of me. Maybe I've seen him before, maybe not, but afterward I looked up, I think his name is Riley. Anyway, right here, I took the inside line on the grass through this corner. I was trying to go around him, but he got a little squirrely on that corner, so I didn't have a chance there. But then he messed up this corner, and I was like, all right, I'm going to take this opportunity to go around while we're in the infield and get around him here before going up this little uphill. I also didn't recognize this rider. His name is Ruben, and he lives far away, so he only comes to these occasionally. He goes off into the grass on this corner, gives me an opportunity to go around, so I take it. And this puts me in 2nd place, which I'm feeling great about, and I'm feeling even better about the fact that I can still see Jeremy up there in 1st place. Normally by this point in the race, after the whole shot and a few minutes of riding, he is just so far gone that I can't even see him. And my goal for the day is to get back on the podium, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm in 2nd place right now, I can still see Jeremy, this is a great place for me to be. I'm just going to try to keep him in my sights. Still got Jeremy in my sights, and there's some people here that were like walking on this trail. I'm not sure, I mean, I think the trail is closed during the race. I'm not actually sure about that, but you'd figure if you see, you know, 40 or 50 bike riders go by you, you might go walk somewhere else. I don't know. You can just barely see it on the left, but Jeremy goes around this other rider who's actually in a different category. I think they were an intermediate rider, but Jeremy gets around him, and then I'm behind him for just a little bit. Fortunately, I stay on his tail and get an opportunity to pass here, where it's a slow uphill corner and it's a little wider, so I'm able to go around and resume my chase of Jeremy, although you know, it's much harder to see him here in the wooded section, although I can still see him up there. He's maybe 10 seconds ahead of me at this point, so much smaller gap than I'm used to having to him at this point in the race. So as we go through these kind of switchback corners in the wooded section, I look behind, and I feel like maybe after the fact this was a mistake. I was checking back to see where the 3rd place person was behind me to try to like gauge how much effort I should put into the race at this point, because I know I'm not going to get 1st place. I don't think I can beat Jeremy, but I feel like I can get 2nd, so I'm trying to see, like, is there somebody behind me? But there's still so much of the race left. I think I shouldn't have looked back at this point, and instead should have focused on the trail in front of me, because like I can't even see Jeremy anymore. So I feel like I split my attention too much and kind of lost track of chasing him, and that made me slow down. So I'm going to try not to repeat that in future races and just focus on, you know, my race and focus on the line I'm taking through these sections, because, you know, it takes all of my focus to get through here, especially at race pace. It's really challenging, so I need to focus on that instead of where are the people behind me, because it doesn't matter. We're coming up on one of the main changes to the course. Normally we would turn right here where the caution tape is and go up this hill and over the road, but instead we're staying on the course. We have this very brief infield section where it kind of opens up and we go uphill a little bit, and we dive back into the wooded section and more single track. So you can't see it because I don't have a rear cam, but I know that somebody's right behind me here, and I take a bad line through this section. It's really bumpy, there's all these roots all over the place. Somehow I come completely unclipped with both feet, so I'm like basically do a dead stop right here, and then get clipped back in, get back up to speed, and hope I didn't, you know, piss off the guy behind me too much by slowing down so much and coming unclipped. There's a photographer. Shout out Red Family Photo for taking the snaps that I use as my thumbnails. And we're coming up on another critical point of the trail here. This is where we turn right and go off of the trail back onto the road to like reconnect. We go uphill here and then turn on this infield section, and that brings us into the start finish. But this is like, we're at the bottom of a hill right now, and so it doesn't look like it, but I'm going uphill right now, and then we're gonna turn and go uphill on the dirt track. So this is just like a huge climb. And last week I was talking about, you know, these 14-year-olds with better power to weight than me beating me up the hill. So I was just waiting for them to rocket past me on this part. Spoiler alert, they didn't. So that was a bit of a surprise for me, but still, I was really chugging up this hill. I had, you know, dumped everything into the rest of the race, and I haven't been training as much as I would like, so I'm not at like the level of fitness necessary to really get up this hill in any, you know, with any quickness. You can see I'm only doing like 6 miles an hour. So this was tough, but also, you know, still fun and rewarding to really push yourself up this hill.
Yeah.
So this really confused me during the race. This rider passed me, and I assumed at this point that I was in third. I didn't recognize this rider. I thought when they went past that it might have been Derek, but it wasn't. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm in third place now. But after the race, I realized that they aren't actually in my race. They were an intermediate racer that I think started with the beginners and just went around me. And, you know, I didn't see them before this, and I didn't see them after this. So it was really confusing when I rolled across the finish line and I wasn't in the place that I thought I was. So yeah, it took me forever to figure out that, oh, they're actually not in my category. These people were still on the course even, you know, a lap 15 minutes later. Anyway, it's hard to tell, but this hairpin right here is really tough because you have to get over these roots as well. So like it benefits to come in really sharp on that and slowly after coming downhill. And there was a rider behind me, but they like maybe ran into a tree or I don't know, hit their pedal on the inside or something, so it came unclipped at that point. But in my head, I was like, okay, well, there was somebody just behind me, and, you know, maybe I got a couple seconds on them because they messed up that corner, so, like, I gotta, you know, watch out. And at this point, I think that I'm in third place because I had that rider from a different category go around me. And I'm trying to get back on the podium, so I'm thinking, okay, I can't let this guy behind me get around me. I need to really put the pedal to the metal and get to the finish line, finish, you know, the next 4 or 5 minutes of this race quickly. Taking that turn onto the road here, and I nearly go off into the rough here. I thought I could keep going, but I got my handlebars tangled on that little tree, so I had to stop for a second and unclip. Anyway, I'm feeling good because the guy behind me hasn't come around me yet. I was waiting for them to like ask for an opportunity to pass or something. I figured, okay, here we're on, you know, the road. We're going into this infield section, into the start finish. They'll be able to pass if they want to. And I'm wondering, like, are they going to be quicker or slower than me up this hill? And I'm guessing at this point that, like, they're probably going to be quicker than me. So I hope that I had just, like, had enough gap through the single track section that they're not going to be able to get around me here. Okay. Yeah, so he has to pass there, and there he goes. And I thought, like, well, maybe I could try to hang on to his wheel, but if you see, I'm already at 180 BPM. Like, I am redlining, and he has just opened up an enormous gap. So shout out Ruben for passing me on this final uphill here. That is a huge effort. Great job. I eventually make it to the finish line and finish third, so I made it back on the podium. My second lap, way slower than my first lap, like a minute and a half almost. Anyway, I enjoyed this course, still holding out judgment because it's longer than the other one, so it was more tiring, but I liked all the shade, so thank you, Sean. Also, Sean gave my YouTube channel a shout out. Thanks, Sean, for that. So yeah, I really enjoyed this race. Hope to see y'all next week. Thanks for watching.